What it do? What the business is? Word on the street, Jesus on the handle hills. Get your mind right. You better talk to him. What's going on? I'm just really out here in my little man cave doing next to nothing. So I figure, why not make some content? You feel me? You smell me? If you ain't figured out by now, I's what we used to call in the day a nerd. So I was like, what can I, what to make? I mean, I do a lot of stuff. I don't know where I get that from. I always kind of had that in me. You know, I've always had many different interests, whether it's gardening, whether it's creating art stuff, drawing, sports, history, you know, things that I've always liked to do. And so now I'm trying to just venture. I'm actually really doing the things that I used to do and always wanted to do back in the day and never really could do it. So I don't know if I did a video on this yet. Just knocked something over. So got these probably about 2 months ago. And you're like, why is this 40-something-year-old man got an Undertaker and Cody Rhodes action figure? To be honest with you, I can't explain it. And don't actually know why. But when I was a kid, I had a couple of action figures. And some of my kinfolk still laughing at me today about playing with them. If they see these videos, they really gonna laugh. But you shouldn't allow anybody, in their opinion of you, to take away from something you enjoy, something you love, which is my main point. Because just because they are old in mind and body does not mean that you have to be. I'm trying to get this home. So it don't mean that just because they got old and not only old in gray hair, but old in mind, it don't mean that you have to be. You feel me? So I would advise whoever you are that if there's something you enjoy, whatever that something may be, and you see how I'm struggling with this, whatever that may be, to not allow people to steal your joy, steal your happiness, steal away from you something that brings you however brief that joy may be, to steal that away from you. I wouldn't do that. Look at that. You feel me? The Undertaker is probably the reason why it's so hard, because I got this other vest on up under that. No? The Undertaker, the Phenom, in my opinion, is the greatest gimmick ever created by WWE. Longevity, creativity, detail, character, storylines. One of the most epic moments in WWE history when he launched Mankind off the top of a steel cage, and Jim Ross basically saying he broke him in half. Like that feud, Undertaker and Mankind, is one of the greatest feuds in the history of the WWE. But the greatest gimmick, and don't get it twisted, everybody like to talk about how LeBron has 4 or 5 Hall of Fame careers with 4 or 5 different teams, or however many teams he's been on. Undertaker has 2 Hall of Fame careers under 2 characters. The Undertaker and the American Bad. 2. But this one, the Undertaker, this moment of the Undertaker is one of the best. It's the Undertaker, the Ultimate Edition. I don't know what is it with collectors and their boxes. We don't like to get rid of our boxes. See, Undertaker, 6'10", from Death Valley, finisher, Tombstone, WWE champion, and that's the picture of him and his brother Kane, which was one of the best stories ever assembled, written. Taker. And so and this one here is very detailed. I think this is probably one of the best face sculptures that I've seen. This one is probably the best looking ensemble of clothing. It is awesome. And it's fun. I like the flexibility in the knees and the joints. I think the technology, now that it's caught up with the 20-something century, especially with the toes and them being able to flex, see? So you can pose it in different poses. The knees twist. The ankles twist, the knees twist. The chest moves up and down. The elbow joint moves, even with the elbow sleeve. The hands are interchangeable. This one has different head sculpts that are pretty cool. See? With the tongue open, with the eyes rolled back. It also has the hands right here. So if you're a kid at heart and you never get old, which is something that I don't want to do. I might get old outside, but I don't want to get old on the inside. This is something that I do. So to the people who want to talk about us, who still play with their toys into their 40s. Oh, if you need some life insurance, mortgage protection, if you need some flyers, if you just need some different stuff that's creativity, holla at your boy. You feel me? Deuces.